People ask me, they say, Chris, what is it like trying to raise a child when you can't see the child? It's ups and downs, you know, ups and downs. You just got to go with the flow. Can't prepare yourself, you know. She's 3.5 now. When she was 2.5, if you haven't got kids, by the way, as soon as they get to 2, they're adorable. They just start asking questions. They want to know what everything is. You are their source of information. They want to absorb the world. My daughter, she's 2.5. She's in the bath. I'm knelt there. I'm bathing her. She's like, what's this, Daddy? What's this, Daddy? Oh, bloody no, do I? Give it here. Just... You might be 2.5, but you know way more than Daddy at this point, sweetheart. Yeah. What's this, Daddy? Ice cream? I was like, ice cream? Big handful of shit, wasn't it? Massive. Not like a little pebble, not like a little sweetness. Where did that cut? An impressive quantity for an adult male. I wasn't entirely sure the dog hadn't jumped in and done it when my back was turned and she just scooped it out. She just slapped it in there in one go. It threw me. I didn't... Look, right, I obviously didn't see it coming. I didn't even... No. I didn't even smell it coming. This came from underwater. This was a stealth move, right? And I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened. You know, I've narrowed it down to 2 options, I think. I've given it some thought. I mean, she was 2.5. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She deserves the benefit of the doubt, doesn't she? Option 1, benefit of the doubt. This is what happened. She sat in the bath in the warm water. Yeah? She farts. She shits herself. She doesn't know she's done that. A few minutes later, that goes floating past her in the bath, doesn't it? She sees it there. She thinks to herself, I wonder what the bloody hell that is. That looks a little bit like ice cream. I know, she thinks. I'll ask Daddy about that. He knows about these things. He's a very, very clever man, yeah? That's option 1, isn't it? Benefit of the doubt. Option 2. She's a bloody comedy genius. She's sat there in the bath. She's got Mr. Penguin up here on the wall. She's got, hey, Mr. Penguin, Mr. Penguin. Get on this now. This is going to be brilliant. This is going to be amazing. Watch his face now. Watch his face. Watch. Keep looking. Keep looking. What am I going to do? Not only am I going to do a shit and put it in his hand, I bet you I can make him sniff it. Ice cream, Daddy? Ice cream, huh? We were very lucky with my daughter. So they say you got to watch your language around your kids, don't they? That's what they say. We were very lucky. My daughter's first words, apart from hand on heart, apart from mama, dada, baba, all that nonsense, her first words were go away. That's what she said. That's all she said for 3 months. Go away. Go away. She thought it was just one word. Go away. Go away. Why? Because that's what me and my wife said to the dog every time we were trying to feed my daughter. We'd get the food out, wouldn't we? The dog would get up, he'd go on the prowl, having a little look, wouldn't we? We'd be like, go away, go away, go away. She just picked it up. We'd push her in the pram out on the street. She'd be like, go away, go away, go away. Said to my wife, it's a good job we weren't telling that dog to fuck off, isn't it? Because we just wouldn't be able to take this kid out of the house.
I'm going to explain the concept and naked attraction to you. And you're going to think to yourself, Suze, previous to your gig tonight, did you nip outside and smoke some crack? Because that's how mental it is. Right, Emma. A girl walks out on stage. She's like, I'm looking for a boyfriend. And the host goes, brilliant. We've got 6 naked men in tubes behind. Then the host says to the girl, what are you looking for? And the girl will always do the same thing. She'll go, oh my God, you've really put me on the spot. And you think, no, you chose to come on this show, moron. She goes, Well, I guess I'm looking for a boyfriend, but also a friend. I really like going to European city breaks, maybe someone that likes travel. And I really like music gigs as well, so maybe someone that likes music. And I guess if I'm being really honest, what I'm looking for is love. And the host goes, brilliant, let's see if you can find love by judging dongs. Okay? 6 naked men in tubes! Okay? Now, Emma, there's a screen in front of all of them. Every round, the screen goes up a little bit more to show a little bit more of the naked body. Every round, one man gets eliminated until the end. She's got a couple of nudie fellas to choose from. Okay? Now, Emma, first round, screen just goes up to their knees. There's always one bloke who's got really rough feet. Really rough. Like he was an extra in The Hobbit. And he just never took the feet off afterwards, right? Now, she clearly looked at them feet and thought, well, them trotters ain't coming home with me, right? And you think, well, that's the end for him. Not the end. They don't shoot him. You think it's the end of the show for him, but it's not. It's not the end of the show, because he then has the indignity of the screen going the whole way up. So you see his penis and his face. Then he has the most awkward moment in television where he steps out of his tube, walks over to her and gives her the most uncomfortable hug you have ever seen. Where you can tell all he is thinking is, don't touch the lady with your dick. Whatever you do, don't touch the stranger with your dick. And then his sad little ass walks off stage. Now... the next round, the screen comes up to the waist. And let's be honest, it is the round we are all watching for. It's cock-a-clock. Now, it's not going to come as a surprise to any of you. There's a lot of people in this evening. I bet it doesn't come as a surprise to one person in this room. I ain't seen many willies. I ain't seen many of them. I ain't seen many willies. I'm not a connoisseur when it comes to willies. I was straight for a month when I was 18. I don't have the wrists, okay? But even to me, even to the untrained eye, there was one that I was like, oh, there's something up with him. There was something just not quite right about it. They're not meant to have a corner, are they? Halfway through, it had like a proper corner. Now, she clearly looked at that one and went, ooh. She can't do that, can she? She'll go work on Monday. She don't look a bitch on TV. So instead, she had to do a little lie. Emma, see if you can see where she went wrong. She went, I'm going to have to get rid of number 4. Kind of weird dick. I'm going to have to get rid of number 4 because the way that he's standing, he doesn't really look like a very confident guy. And I'm only really attracted to really confident guys. And I thought, he has his penis out on television. How much more confident would you like this twat to be?
The worst one, though, if someone's done something unstrong, we call them a weed. I don't know if there's any gardeners in. Weeds are the strongest bastard I've ever met. There's a weed called Japanese knotweed. You can cut it into 100 little bits, put it inside a plastic bag. It gets back out the plastic bag. This is a plant. It hasn't even got a face. Gets back out the plastic bag, meets back up with its mates, botanical term, gets back down into the ground, re-roots. It's so strong, so powerful, that it breaks up the foundations of buildings and destroys the value of property. Weeds can bring down capitalism, guys. And I'd like to see a pair of gonads do that. I have got no idea if my attempts to gentlify my son are having any impact whatsoever. I have no idea. I've seen one inkling, ever. He was playing with a couple of dinosaurs. He didn't know that I was watching. They were fighting. All his play is violent and fighting. But as the dinosaurs were fighting, I saw this. They were going, rah, 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 rah. And at the end of the fight, they went, goodbye, darling, goodbye. Yes, I did that. But the rest of the time, he's a nightmare. I'm so honest in my comedy about what a handful my son is. I feel like I need to reassure you, like, you know, I do love him. Don't ring anyone. him more. But if anything, that makes it weirder because you've got this very extreme, very intense love for someone. That makes it more confusing when their behaviour is objectively disgusting. I think it's best summed up in cliches with a 3-year-old because the cliches are true. So genuinely, without a second's thought, I would jump in front of a car for him. But also some days because of him. Because even if you take all of the violence out of the equation, just arguing with somebody that entitled but with no empathy is hard. And usually it starts from the second that you've woken up. I don't know if you've ever even shared a house with a 3-year-old. Normally, when you wake up, their creepy little face is already there. Saying something like, I've had a poo. They say anything that means that you have to get up. So once I genuinely got, all the taps are on. And there was one day in particular that I will never forget because of the relentlessness of it. And it did start from the second that we'd woken up. Being eyes open, I was like, good morning, darling. And he was like, it's not morning, it's lunchtime. You're a lizard. I don't like daddy. You're not my best friend. Can I have a knife? Here we go. Come on, come to the kitchen. I don't eat meals anymore, only eat snacks. Can I have a cake? 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 Can I have a cake right now? That is not how you talk to me. Can I have a cake, please? Now I've got to give you a shitting cake. It's not even 7 a.m. That goes in, doesn't it? Brrr. Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake right now, please? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? The thing is, darling, what we've got to learn is that sometimes we want a nice thing, and then we get the nice thing, and we have to think, oh, wasn't it nice to have a nice thing? Doesn't mean we instantly have to have another 4. Can I have 4 cakes? 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 This went on so relentlessly that after a few hours of it, I, a grown-up, said to a 3-year-old I couldn't love more who asks for knives, and I meant it. I said, do you know what? You can have whatever you want. But I swear to you, he went, I don't want whatever I want!
The most sexually adventurous thing I ever did, I did it when I was single. When I was single, I ordered the #1 vibrator on the Love Honey website. And the Love Honey website is a sex toy website, for those of you pretending not to know. I kind of ordered it out of spite, right? Because one of my exes called me a prude, which I think is such an extreme thing to call someone. I don't think I did anything to warrant that. The only thing I can think of maybe is once I said that I don't like morning sex. That's not a big deal. That doesn't mean that I'm not sex positive. I just don't think you should do something that disgusting in the morning. Not whilst the blackbird is singing his morning tune. But I went on the website. It was late at night. I just ordered the first one on the list because I thought that will be good. That will probably be quite nice. The thing that arrived is so terrifying. It plugs directly into the wall. It has one of those on the end of it. It uses mains electricity. It needs to be pat tested. I just find that so threatening, because I think what that's basically saying is, what I'm about to do to you couldn't possibly be done with a battery. I'm gonna need that same stuff that powers your fridge. It's huge, it's bigger than this. It looks like a piece of farming equipment from the Industrial Revolution. But it's called a wand. There is nothing magical about it. I've never seen this type of vibrator before. All the vibrators that I've seen advertised online are very small and portable, and they're not making big claims. They're just happy to live in your bedside drawer, and they'll be there like, okay, girl, I'm here if you need me. Like, if you and your partner get like super, super drunk one night, maybe you could experiment with me for a little bit. Honestly, I might not do anything, but I might speed things along for you a little bit. Either way, no worries if not. Whereas my vibrator is just next to the bed like, do you want to meet God? Not really. It doesn't even fit in the bedside drawer. It's just curled up on the floor like a python. And after it arrived, I was like, is this the right thing? Because I checked on the website, because I thought maybe it got mixed up with like an order meant for Guantanamo Bay. It was the right thing. Not only that, I read the description for the first time. It said in the description, this is the world's most powerful vibrator. I don't think I need that. I need absolute max, a whisper on the wind. The world's most powerful vibrator. You shouldn't be able to buy that without a license. Underneath as well, it said, the vibrator will turn off automatically after 20 minutes for your safety. 21 minutes and there's a danger of death. I don't even want to shout. It cost £90. So I felt like I had to try it because I spent so much money. And I don't even have a plug next to my bed. I had to get the extension cable. That felt desperate. I turned it onto the lowest setting. It had 8 settings. I turned it onto setting 1. It was so loud. I was like, there's nothing private about this experience. The neighbours are going to think I'm having a new kitchen put in. At midnight, they're going to call the council. Well, no, they're not calling anyone. They don't have any power right now. I tried it just for like 1, maybe 2 seconds, and I was like, I can smell burning. I can't use this thing. It's going to sand me down. It's going to erode. I'm going to be flat over. There'll be nothing left like Barbie. But it had 8 settings. I thought, I have to see what setting 8 does. Not on myself. I know my limits. I just turned it up to setting 8 in the sky. Fuck me. I was like, I'm going to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
So I'm gay. I don't know if I needed to explain that. And if you've seen me before, I'm still gay. If anything, it's getting worse. And I'm completely gay as well. Like, I've never tried it any other way. I've never tried it with a woman. I'm a thoroughbred. I mean, really, I wouldn't know a vagina if it hit me in the face. I mean, how they do that? Have they got hands? I've never seen one. Though I have been twatted. And I realise I come up here and I talk and sound all posh, don't I? Probably quite intimidatingly so to you. But I'm not actually from a very posh family at all. I'm from a very ordinary family, and I went to a very ordinary comprehensive school, very ordinary. I know, isn't it moving? And I do think at school, like, they try and prepare you for life, don't they? I don't know how well they do it. Like, I remember at primary school, they used to try and prepare us for life by giving us assemblies every day. We'd have assembly every day, where we'd all be sat in the hall, on the floor, in rows, and then the teachers would be sat on the end of the rows on chairs because they were stronger. And then our head teacher, called Mr. Babbage, would come in, and he'd walk to the front, and he'd say, "Good morning, everybody." And then the whole school would go, "Good morning, Mr. Babbage," because they were all drunk. And then he'd read us a story, and it would always be a story about, like, how to make a soup out of stones. And I think Jesus was there somewhere. And there was always a moral, and the moral was always something like, be poor. And then after that, he sometimes read us a letter from Rapamundi, and Rapamundi was this girl, right, we were always raising money for in India. She would write us these letters about how dreadful her life was. And she did have an awful, dreadful life. But then she always found time to write. And then, after that, we'd always have a collection of postage stamps for guide dogs. I don't know who these guide dogs are writing to. And then eventually, when you've done enough of that, then you get to go, of course, to secondary school, don't you? Secondary school, and that's where you get to learn really interesting things at secondary school, isn't it? Like, you get to learn about novels in English, and you get to learn about fingering, and... and you get to learn about, like, proper grown-up maths, don't you? Or math, as they say in America, don't they? Math. But we do it more than once. And I remember learning things like Pythagoras' theorem. Do you remember that? Pythagoras' theorem. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Sohcahtoa. Do you remember that? Sohcahtoa. 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 It's a thing. I'm not just having a stroke. Sohcahtoa. Sohcahtoa means sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I mean, now, as an adult, looking back, it would have been nice, wouldn't it, if they spent maybe half an hour, or even just like 10 minutes, really, just 10 minutes going, this is a pension scheme. This is how you fill in a tax return, and this is how you get over a broken heart, and this is how you tell an estate agent to fuck off.
I've got the memory of an elephant. I remember one time I went to the zoo and saw an elephant. I was disappointed to find that Dunkirk wasn't actually a biography of William Shatner. I accidentally kicked my dog early and it bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no, if anything, it's even more angry. I tell you what always catches my eye, short people with umbrellas. I put on a lot of weight, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency, can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can, we got loads of them. I was actually thrown out of Weight Watchers for making sarcastic comments at the weekly weigh-in. As you can imagine, I accepted the decision with huge grace, because they threw her out as well. I was watching TV, the announcer said there's a documentary about the clitoris on the red button, but I couldn't find it. I was in a fancy lingerie shop. I said, are these knickers satin? He said, no, they're new. I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. Apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. It's been a tough week. I got myself a memory foam mattress, and now it's trying to blackmail me. As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. You would be. And it was half empty. The area in a Nando's between the front and back door is called the peri-perineum. What I like most about that joke is that people who know what a perineum is usually haven't heard of Nando's. Ironically, there's only a very small overlap between the two. The doctor told me to lose some weight. I said, how? He said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what, pies, chips, that sort of thing? He said, no, just don't eat anything fatty. Old lady names are very much back in fashion at the minute, like Lily or Elsie or Rose, and we wanted something like that for our daughter, but we couldn't decide, so in the end we just called her Nan. So we shall grow into it.
People ask me all the time, so Rich, how did you end up becoming a comedian? And I always say, Why do you say end up, like I made a mistake? It's kind of a polite conversation you have with a tramp. So, fella, how'd you end up in a skip? It's the most fantastic job in the world, right? You make people laugh, you, fella, with all that stress on your face. Look at you, sit in the front row trying to get the jokes before anyone else. How desperate are you for comedy, my friend? Well, you people, Brits, but... Oh, I'm sorry, what? I wasn't expecting a response. Do you work?
I'm a student.
A student, all right. No more questions, Your Honor. It's very easy, no heavy lifting. Eh? Why don't you think about being a comedian? What are you studying?
History.
History. That goes back a long time, doesn't it? Why don't you try American history? A couple hundred years. Boom, you're done. Listen, here's the thing, all right? You just say intelligent things stupidly. That's all there is to being a comedian. Or maybe it's stupid things intelligently. It's not rocket surgery. I'll tell you that right now. That's what I get asked all the time. So I bet you were the class clown. Were you the class clown? Screw you. Why would you suggest I took a childhood disorder and turned it into a career, you prick? No one ever says to a hooker, were you the class whore? I bet you were the class whore, weren't you? Let the mystery be. I love watching Brits snap. That is the greatest thing in the world. When a Brit snaps, you don't even know they've snapped. It's not like Americans who take out 8 or 9 people with a high-powered rifle because they're social animals. Brits snap and you go, 2 hours later thinking, I think that guy snapped while I was talking to him. At that point where he crushed the pint glass with his hand, he was a bit pissed off. That's why when it comes to a war on terror, something we invented, the war on terror, because Brits would never have a war on terrifying, because what's not terrifying to Brits? Everything. They just don't show it, right? Brit, you've had giants plucking your daughters out of villages a couple thousand years ago. Look that one up, history boy. It's true. So the basic British reaction to anything terrifying is this. How much is this going to cost? You can't really terrify. That's why I'm pretty sure the war, the whole terrorism thing, I think the terrorists are just kind of giving up on Britain, because what can they possibly do, right? Listen, I would never compare the scopes of tragedy of, say, the World Trade Center to the bombs that blew up in London, but the reaction is completely different, right? America still has this entire culture of fear about terrorism. It's basically manifests itself by terror alerts being scrolled across the bottom of the TV screen by color. No explanation whatsoever. Just today's terror alert is orange. Now back to our show. What the hell was that? What does that mean? Orange, that's hunting accidents, roadworks, right? That's not good. It means be very, very aware of terror. So dwell on it now and then. Whereas in Britain, they blow up the buses in London. Next day, people are back at the bus stop waiting for the bus, right? And complaining about it because they're Brits. Bus is late. I mean, it's late. The one yesterday blew up. Yeah, well, that was yesterday. Today's today. I live in the present and the bus is late. That's why when you watch a Brit snap, right, you got to get really close to them. They'll pick a high street and just corkscrew for a while. That's... Not even knowing what direction to... What direction is corkscrew anyway? This is bullshit. And then you get too close and then you get sucked into the vortex, right? Are you okay? That moment when a Brit truly snaps, and it looks like this. I'm going to write a letter. That's it. I've been pushed to the brink, you bastard. Nobody treats me like this, you son of a bitch. Huh? I'm not emailing this, I'm writing this. Wait till you get that tomorrow. Big red pillar box right in the mail. Postal strike.
Oh, yes, you know what I love about London town is we welcome all the people from all around the world, innit? I bet you he's got people from overseas in the house tonight. Overseas people, show me some love. Loads and loads and loads. What about over there? I saw a few people who was from overseas. Where are you from, guys? Australia. Welcome the Australians. There's so many Aussies in London. We even got nicknames for each other. That's crazy. You call us Poms, innit? Yeah. We call you racists. Welcome, you legend, my man. Do you miss it out there, all the beaches and the barbecues and all that? Yeah, probably about time you pissed off home, innit? Jokes, you legend. It's just banter. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a drink in the bar afterwards? Yes. Promise you'll serve me first, though. Welcome to you. Isn't this nice? All the different foreign people. Who else has we got in the house? Yeah, legend over there. You're proud of where you're from. Where you from? Wales. You idiot. They get well wound up when we call them sheep shaggers, innit? Don't know why you don't just stop it, but there you go. Welcome, geese. I've been to Wales. It's a nice place, isn't it? There's even like a time difference, ain't there, which I couldn't believe. Yes, I was in Swansea. They're about 8 years behind. Welcome to Wales, man. Who else has we got in? And it's nice. What's that, you legend? Kenya? Oh, welcome, you legend. I've got African relatives of mine and I feel like there's a bond there. I never knew I had African relatives until I got an email out of the blue about 2 weeks ago. Welcome. I love it all, man. All the different cultures, all the different things, different accents. Ain't that fun? Everyone's got different accents. I hear different accents, I think of different things. I hear like Australian accent, I'm thinking sport. You know, I hear Italian accent, I'm thinking food. I hear Indian accent, I think I'm about to be put on hold. Welcome all of yous, man. Welcome all of yous. Because that's the thing about London, we do welcome ya. You know, come along, have a giggle. I'll say there's only one day every year when we don't welcome the foreigners. And we let all the frustrations on the foreigners out of the system. Just one day every year in London. London's, you know what I'm talking about, innit? That one day every year, we close down all the roads in the centre of London. And thousands of people chase after these 5 Kenyans. And a load of people in wheelchairs. It's not nice.
Posting naked or almost naked pictures online to show how confident we are. And in all the comments, other women will be like, "You are so brave." Well, I really just think that means not a model. Also, it's not brave. There's no soldier looking down at that picture being like, "Oh, what a brave lady." You know, a man posts a naked picture, he just loses custody of his kids. And if showing your weird body's brave, then the guy that masturbated in front of me on the subway is very brave. Because he had a real weird body. And he was making weird faces. He might be the bravest man I know. But that's the thing, we're supposed to care so much about our bodies as women, you know? And there's even campaigns that we should love our bodies and be confident in our bodies. Or we could just stop caring about it. Because you know who doesn't care about their bodies? Men. You know what men are? Successful. Men are presidents, men are CEOs. You've never heard a CEO go, "I want to get profits up and keep costs down and love me for me." 3 p.m. we're going to have a meeting about how I can accept the fact that I have my mother's thighs. You know who should care about their bodies? Men. You have weird bodies, men. You're gross. Your balls are gross. I've never seen a guy be like, "Oh, I can't wait to get his pants off and see that weird bag of stuff between his legs." What is it? It's like when you go to a haunted house and you stick your hand in a jar, you're like, "Please be grapes." Balls seem like a real god whoopsie. It's like when you're putting together furniture and you got a couple leftover screws and you're like, "Well, those were supposed to go somewhere. I guess I'll hang them from a satchel." Even the name sounds like a mistake. What are you gonna call them? Scrotum. Okay. This is important, he covered in bone. Balls, he was like, let them fly. You are so lucky we get our faces near them. If a woman puts your balls in her mouth, you should pay her a lot of money. And not in like a prostitute way, and like I don't know how else to say thank you. This is a very nice thing you just did to me. And you didn't get any pleasure out of it. There's not a single woman that's like, that's what does it for me. You were more of a saint than Mother Teresa for that. There's no way she ever did it. I get one wrinkle, my career is over. I had to put paint on my face just to leave my home. And you guys get to walk around those wrinkly, dangly bags of crap. You should have to put makeup on them. Or at the very least, googly eyes. I don't know if that'd be better or worse, it'd be fun. He's happy, he's sad. He lost his boner. And I don't know how we ever let you guys get away with calling our boobs saggy. Your balls are saggy. You should wear a bra. And you make it fancy. All those women clapping, they meant yours.
But I have developed a new hobby. Some of you probably already do this. I've started listening into people's conversations on the bus and the train. It's quite entertaining. And I was listening not long ago to two old ladies, and they were talking about what they would do if they were men for a day. And I thought, this is going to be brilliant, because pensioners are, by definition, bonkers. But I went out to lunch with a couple of my friends, and I thought, well, I'll ask them the same question. So my first friend, I said, what would you do if you were a man for a day? And without even thinking, she just went, I'd have a wank. Sounded like she needed to. She sounded awfully tense. But these old ladies, different generation to me and my friends, in their 80s, and one of them just said, Edith, what would you do if you're a man for a day? The other one said, knowing my luck, I'd get a Tuesday. And what can you do on a Tuesday? My second friend, I said, what would you do if you're a man for a day? She just said, I just do everything. And I thought she meant like in a sexual way. And I said, is that what you mean? Like you just do everything? And I said, is that what you mean? She went, no, just all the little jobs round the house. But I've been trying to go on a diet. I'm not really very successful. But I find that whenever I go shopping and I can't get into things, you know, when you try clothes on and you're the size you weren't expecting to be, I just come home and I put on a song, and the song is Big Girls Don't Cry. You know the song? There's a couple of versions of it. Big girls don't cry. Such a load of rubbish, that, isn't it? Big girls don't cry. Yeah, they do. Cry because they're fat, cry because they can't get a boyfriend, and they cry because there's no trifle left. But I was on holiday in Spain last year, and I'm bragging, I know, and outside the hotel was a lovely pool, and I wanted to go in the pool, of course I did, but I'm not overly confident with my figure in a swimming costume, and I was watching the women who were walking in the pool, and these were like tiny, you know, these wafer-thin, tiny women. And I thought, I'm not going to walk in with one of them. If I walk in with one of them, people are going to think I've bloody eaten one. And I wouldn't anyway, because there's no meat on them. So what I decided to do instead is just to walk in with the children, because kids are all really fat these days. If I walk in the same time as a 9-year-old boy who's got bigger tits than me, nobody's looking at me anymore. But like I say, I don't have kids, and most of my friends don't have kids, but I think if you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids would always be childbirth. It's quite a reasonable thing to worry about childbirth. From what I understand, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? It changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is, thanks very much. Certainly don't want a bloody extension. But it's bound to change though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. With a shoehorn.
And when I go back to America, man, we're not good at taking the piss out of ourselves. We're a younger country. We haven't learned that skill yet. That's a very advanced thing y'all do. We ain't worked that out yet. You know, in America, we used to feeling one emotion at a time, you know? And just, you know, we get mixed up like that. It's just, in America, too, we love catchphrases. We love slogans. We love stuff like that. And we found a way for justification to sound like empowerment. That's right. We have phrases like, be true to yourself, follow your heart, follow your dream. There was a movie a few years ago called Batman Begins, and it had one of them catchphrases, and Americans loved it. To conquer fear, you must become fear. Well, how the hell you do that? And it's just a way for Batman to justify being violent. I could take that same phrase and justify whatever I want. If I gain too much weight, I can justify it by going, to conquer fat, you must become fat. Man, I saw a politician on the news today, MP, talking about it'll be good if Tony Blair becomes president of the European Union because a Brit will be in there. And how dare anybody in Britain go against that? Well, how about the best man for the job? How about that? How about that? And like, I know that kind of thinking because I grew up with that. I was always taught that I had to support every black person no matter what they did. So that meant I tried for years really hard to support Don King and Robert Mugabe. And it's hard. It's hard. I tried. I swear to God, I tried, man. A few years ago, I was watching Wimbledon and Serena Williams playing. And I'm not a fan, but I admire her game. She got a strong game. And not just the physical, but the psychological. Every time she hits the ball, right, she makes this grunt. It's like this. And that's a hell of a psych job to do on your opponent. Every time you hit the ball, you release this guttural grunt that's like, It's like what you're saying is, with every fiber of my being, I'm trying to kill you. Imagine playing somebody in checkers like that. A couple of years ago, I was watching Serena Williams play, and I was with one of my buddies, black dude, and she was doing the whole, and he leans over and he says, you know that grunt she does? I said, yeah. What she's actually doing is releasing 200 years of black American anger. For real? He said, black American anger is one of the most potent angers in the world. And that's why she hits the ball so hard, and that's why she be whooping them white girls like that. I was like, oh, okay. So a couple of weeks later, after this Russian girl beat her, I couldn't help but mess with my friend a little bit. I was like, wow, 200 years of black American anger don't seem to have nothing on 70 years of frustration with communism, does it? Black American anger. Try a childhood with no toilet paper.
We need to bring back a sense of consequences for our actions. In this world, there are no more consequences for actions, yeah? And what I'm talking about, if there's no consequences in this life, what we need to do is bring back to Britain a simple sense of hell. The idea, if we screw up in this life, right, we will burn in sulphur for all eternity in the next life. Now, this is quite a tough sell, right? You don't like that idea, do you? Right, but hear me out, this is a good idea. We got any Christians present? I need your assistance. Any Christian people here this evening? Yeah, in the pink shirt. What's your name, son? Josh. Fantastic. You're a Christian? So you understand the idea of redemption, eternity, yeah? Resurrection, eternity in particular. And I do too. I understand the notion of eternity because I went to church on Sunday. Let me tell you this, that service went on forever. If it took me an hour to open a bottle of wine, I'd be drummed out of business. Now, the point is this. How long does it take to own a packet of crisps? Get on with it. Now, we need to bring back... Now, the problem with the idea of hell is no one's frightened of it. Now, I'm going to describe hell for you now and none of you are going to bat an eyelid, right? And while your body's boiling in the mouldering in the grave, we'll take your soul and boil it in boiling oil for 1,000 millennium. Then after that, 2 sulphurous demons, emissaries of Satan himself, will come along, pull out your kidneys and set fire to them on the red-hot coals of hell itself. Then after this, another demon will come along, pull out your eyeballs, stick them on a red-hot poker, burn them on the hot coals of hell, and stick them up your arsehole, and they'll come out your own mouth with this shit on it. And this will go on forever. So you're not bothered by that, are you? In fact, most of you are laughing at it. Huh? In fact, most of us, being British, are thinking, well, come on then! Got yourself the devil! And that's the interesting thing about hell, isn't it? When you describe it, when someone describes hell, it tells you everything you need to know about that person, right? And what he's like and what his people are like. And I describe hell then in a normal British accent, which tells you that we, the British, are stoic, tough people who could take absolutely bloody anything. Right? And that's the interesting thing about hell. It tells you about the people telling you about it. Hell, in a French accent, for instance, sounds like a recipe. And while the body is lying down and the worms inside the flesh, we take out the soul and place it in very hot oil for a long time. Then, once it is tender, 2 demons come together at once, remove the kidneys and place them on the hot coals with a little white wine vinegar, some sea salt, and some rosemary, and cook them till they're brown on the outside but still pink in the middle. Then after this, we take the eyeballs, place them on the hot coals, cook them till they're crunchy on the outside, runny in the middle, on the hot poker, stick them up the arse, they come out the mouth with the shit on. It is delicious. Absolutely magnifique. Hey, you see? Perverts! Perverts, basically, yeah? Hell. Hell in a Dutch accent sounds like a pretty good stag do, doesn't it? Hey, and while your body is lying down, we'll take you to the hottest place you can imagine. Imagine the hottest place you can go, yeah? Now go even hotter. And 2 demons will come together and rub oil all over your body. 2 demons together. 2 demons together at once, and then you will take out your kidneys. Oh, your hot kidneys. Your hot kidneys. And place the kidneys in a hot place and cook the kidneys till they're hard, until your kidneys are hard. And then take out your eyeballs and stick them in your bum hole. And this will cost you 45 euros. Hey, I mean, really? Sounds like an agreeable weekend.
I was such a fat kid. My mother used to buy bathing suits with blowholes in them. It was just... But my parents, I don't want to go into my childhood here because it's wrong. My parents hated me, okay? We're all going to hear the story, aren't we? When my parents hated me too. My parents, all I ever heard growing up is, why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Sheila had died at birth. They just hated me. Whenever we would go like in front of a street, each parent would take my hand, hold our hand, we're crossing the street, and then they'd swing me into the traffic. They used to say, take candy from strangers. Ask the funny man in the raincoat, does he own a van? No, I had a very bad childhood, and that's because, and I'm sure none of you give a damn, but I was the only Jewish kid, this is the absolute truth, growing up in an all-Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's? The Irish people. Only Jewish kid in a Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's like? You were all doing Hail Marys, I was doing Hail Murrays. I mean, it was just... No Christmas tree? No Christmas tree. Do you know what that's like when you're the only kid without a Christmas? Because everybody has Christmas trees. And nowadays, it's like, well, we do it for all faiths. That's such bullshit. Yeah, we walk into an office building, and there's a Christmas tree, and there's a menorah. Bullshit. The Christmas tree goes up, 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 up. There's like a little shitty menorah with 2 orange lights that some angry Puerto Ricans lit backwards. I mean, yes. Juan, you lit those lights backwards. Fuck you, you killed our Lord. I mean, it is just... So, I'm at the age where I figured, screw it, I'm going to have a Christmas tree. I got the biggest Christmas tree I got a 2-story high Christmas tree. I put everything you could think of on that. Up, 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 up. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. On the bottom, I got the manger. I got the whole goddamn thing going there. The wise men, the sheep. The only thing is, I have the baby, but I'm Jewish. I got him a nanny. It was just, oh yes. And I redressed Mary. She didn't look good. That stupid thing over her head. Come on. I put her in a Chanel suit, Manolo Blahniks, and a Louis Vuitton pocketbook. You're the mother of God. Look it. It is just... Am I wrong? If she had looked like that, she would have gotten into the inn. Yes. The point is, it's about looks. Mary, she looked good. She would have done better. Mother Teresa... Oh, don't give me... Oh, Mother Teresa, if she had looked better, she'd be a saint by now. Was she a bow wow? Yes. Did she need electrolysis? Let's talk to each other here. Even lepers were throwing their fingers at her. Here, get on, pray. Because it is all about looks. This is my message, Great Britain. This is my message. Looks count. Education, looks count. I have no sex appeal, and it has screwed me up for life. Peeping Toms look in my window, pull down the shade. You have no idea. My gynecologist examines me by telephone. It is just...
I have a theory that masturbation is a kind of summoning spell for your own rational mind. Because we're all so driven by hormones and by desire. Sometimes you've got to have a wank to speak to your real self. You have a wank, you go, oh, I should have shagged my ex one last time. I'll text her, I'll meet her, I'll shag her. And then you come and a little voice comes on in your head that goes, yeah, don't do that, mate. You've got to be careful with jokes, haven't you? Because not everybody's got a sense of humour. I can remember when I first realised not everybody's got a sense of humour. I was 13, I was at school and we were doing a class on stereotypes. The teacher was a really good guy. He's just talking about how stupid stereotypes are. And he was talking about a stereotype that day that's so old-fashioned and so Scottish that you definitely won't have heard it. Have you ever heard the stereotype that deaf people are really strong? That was a genuine thing when I was growing up. Deaf people, particularly deaf and dumb people, were believed to be really strong. And the teacher said, think how stupid that is. Have you ever seen a deaf contender for the heavyweight championship of the world? And me, aged 13, I put my hand up and I went, there was one, sir, but he was disqualified for punching after the bell. And nobody laughed. And I knew right then that life was going to feel pretty long. You've got to have a bit of leeway with jokes, haven't you? I can't write jokes for the average person, can I? The average person is Chinese. So I'm from Glasgow, a city where people think that hepatitis B is a fucking vitamin. To explain Glasgow's attitude to you, this happened to me recently. I was having a wee snooze in a park, because my career's been going really well lately. I was having a wee doze under a tree, and a guy came up to me and he went, do you know your problem? You're fucking unapproachable. Glasgow's like an entirely negative city. I went to a coffee shop one time. Two middle-aged women sat across from me, and they started to moan as they sat down about how long they thought the coffee was going to take. So nothing had happened, and they were both angry. And coffee turned up, and the first one takes a sip and goes, that's not very good, is it? And the second one takes a sip of hers and goes, I don't even like coffee. I think English people don't really understand Scottish attitudes. You think that we all just want to see the English football team get beaten. But actually, a lot of us would much rather see the team plane crash into an oil refinery. I enjoyed reading about Sam Allardyce. I didn't realise English football had a corruption problem. I thought the only problems in English football were racism, sexism, homophobia, match-fixing, gambling, sexual assaults and the failure to perform at major tournaments.
start by thanking the BBC for letting me be on the show. It's like really awesome that they did. I mean, it doesn't pay that well, but it's just really cool to be here. And they've been so generous. They put me up in a hotel right next to a casino in the city, and they didn't have to do that. I'm not criticizing the BBC. It's not their responsibility to know that I have a gambling addiction, because it's about self-knowledge. And when I go to the casino, I only bring the equivalent of $100 to gamble with because I know I can afford to lose that. And I bring $25 for food in case I get hungry, and $800 for bus fare in case I forget something and have to go home a couple hundred times. It's quite a long flight out here, and of course I didn't get to board the airplane first because I don't travel with small children. The people who do travel with small children, they go on before anybody else. It's a nearly universal airline policy, and it's totally unfair. I mean, it's not fair at all. Never mind that I've spent the better part of a quarter of a century flying on the same airline, trying to earn enough status, enough loyalty, that maybe I could board the airplane first. Never mind that. Because that guy right over there made a single bad decision 3 years ago. So roll out the red carpet for His Majesty. And I'm not having to go at kids or parents. In fact, it's in defense of children. Little kids don't want to be jammed on the airplane right away. Small children do not enjoy air travel. And they've been making this abundantly clear for as long as I can remember. In fact, the airline should reverse the policy. They should say, small children stay at the airport till the last minute. They should say, anybody without small children, you may now board the airplane first, that you might enjoy a short moment of zen. Then the attendant would guide us like, okay, everybody just breathe in and release. Okay, here they come. I think I'm ready for this. But I also want to admit, in the interest of being open-minded, that I don't know why the kids got aboard first. And maybe there's a really good reason why the kids got aboard first that I don't know about, because I don't get to go on there with them. So I don't know what they do in there. I mean, maybe they got to do like a pre-flight sound check. I'm serious. Maybe they get on the airplane and they're like, wah, wah. Is that good in the back? Can you hear that? Is that sufficiently piercing? Okay, I'm almost ready to let them on. I just want to do a couple seat-kicking warm-ups real quick here first. Check my distance. Get the volume up on that iPad. Turn the volume up on that iPad real good. I want people on the ground to hear me playing Angry Birds. You guys ever worry about the world? I get worried. I watched a documentary recently about how much the pollution from humans is destroying the environment. And after I watched that, I was so upset I couldn't even talk. I just had to go for a really long drive by myself and just think about shit. Alone in my Winnebago. Windows down, air conditioning up. A little bit of hairspray, because when I'm looking good, I'm feeling good.
I'm going to make a concerted effort to be positive and happy, because that's what people like, apparently. And I get accused. I constantly get told I'm grumpy and miserable, and I'm not. I'm happy, I'm upbeat, I love being alive, love being a human. Being a human's unbelievable, isn't it? If you're a human, you really have nothing to moan about. I realised this year that being a human is the best on the planet. I was on a plane eating a chicken sandwich. That's not it. It's pretty good, though. I thought, I am eating a bird whilst I am flying. Unbelievable! I, a flightless land mammal, am consuming a bird in mid-air. Never mind the fact I just ordered a gin and tonic in a cloud. And it's because I think being a human is so easy that that's why I get annoyed with people, because people don't seem to try as hard as I would like them to about life. And I am a perfectionist. Give us a cheer if you're a perfectionist. Fair few of you. The rest of you are annoying. You say it now, because you go around and you make mistakes and you drop things and you laugh about it because you think it's part of life's rich tapestry. It isn't. You should be trying harder. I like a massive perfectionist to the point that every mistake in my life counts the same. So, in my world, dropping a spoon is the same as running someone over. In that you didn't mean to do it and you did it, so you have to get angry about it and make sure it never happens again. And I watch people make mistakes. I came into London last year to do some gigs, and I was on the London Underground. I was on the Hammersmith and City line, which, if you don't know London, is the line that goes from Hammersmith into the city. Cockneys really don't piss around when they're naming their things. Oh, but a tube line, Gary. It goes from Hammersmith to the city. Oh, yeah? What you going to call it? Don't muck about, Gary. Don't muck about. So anyway, I was on the Underground, sat down, and I knew I needed 6 stops to get to where I was going. And opposite me on the tube are 2 young girls. They're all dressed up. They're going out for the evening. They're laughing. They're giggling. They're joking. They're generally pissing me off. You see, I'm not a big fan of public shows of joy, you see. My motto is, there's misery in this world. You just have to look for it. If something's broken, you can fix it, and if it's untidy, you can tidy it. And if someone's unhappy, you can make them laugh, and you've made their day a bit better. Happy people are finished. You can't help them. If you're happy, don't go out. Just stay at home and enjoy walls and ceilings. And my real issue with the happy is it's happy people who make mistakes, because they're so busy enjoying life, they've forgotten to do it properly. So I was on the Underground, and these girls are laughing away, and they're a perfect example, because they're enjoying being together so much, they haven't noticed they've got on completely the wrong train. Right? So we're hurtling off in this direction, and they should actually be going in this direction. Right? And so about 5 minutes in, one of the girls cottoned on, and she tapped her mate on the leg, and she went... We're on there. I would have been furious. Let's say it now. That's not funny, is it? What's happened there is you've just lost a big chunk of your life. The time you were going to spend doing the thing you've left the house to do, you will now spend correcting your ineptitude. I know some people say, once you've got on the wrong train, John, there's nothing you can do but laugh about it. But the only reason you would ever laugh in this situation is if you do this so often, you've just had to learn to find it amusing. Done it again. What are we like? I'll tell you. Shit at being alive.
They all have the same technique, right? Is where they grab your boob and they just shake it as hard as they can. I call it the snow globe. They just shake it. Like it's a piggy bank and there's £1 coin left inside. And they just keep doing that until their arm gets tired. And then you just stare at each other in silence. Because that is nobody's fantasy, is it? There's no woman out there who's like, you know what really does it for me? Making one tit feel like it's on a dodgem. Do you know the weirdest thing about having boobs that you have to get used to, if you've got cleavage, right, is that you're just going to have to get used to the fact that over the course of the day, things that you don't know about will fall down there. When I take my bra off at the end of the day, I've got no idea what's going to fall out of there. And by the way, that is the only good thing about having big boobs, is the bigger the boob, the better the feeling when you take your bra off at the end of the day. And it is quite the feeling, isn't it? So good. Honestly, if there's any heterosexual couples here, right, and you guys are like, I'm not sure I'm doing it for my girl in the bedroom, listen to the noise she makes as she takes her bra off at the end of the day. If it's anywhere near the same area, you're smashing it, lad, I promise you. Got no idea what's going to come out. I've taken my bra off at the end of the day. I've had a whole bourbon fall out of there. I've not had biscuits that day. Where's that come from? I've got no idea what's going to fall out of there. Nazi gold, Michael Barrymore's career. I don't know what's in there. Honestly, these boobs have got me in trouble. So, like, the first time my partner and I were going to sleep together, it was, like, a lot of tension because I was like, OK, tonight it's on then. This is the night that we're going to bang, right? So I was like, OK, I want to make this as great as I can. So I went out, bought myself a new bra, treated myself, got the Janice. Yes, please. Sometimes you just want the tits of a dinner lady, don't you? So we're having a bit of a kiss, and I was like, okay, it's the time to take my bra off. But the problem is with the new bra, you don't always know the physics of it, right? Because the elastic's like, yes, sir. Whereas my bras are like, oh, for God's sake, please just burn me. Oh, God. Please let me go to the other side. There's been 6 prime ministers since you bought me. There's been 7 prime ministers since you bought me. I don't know when this is going out. There's been 8 prime ministers since you bought me. I went to take my bra off and it had a bit of fight to it and I didn't know about that. So I took my bra off trying to do it in like a sexy way and it sort of pinged because of this elastic, and as it pinged, it released what I can only describe as a projectile. So I took my bra off and a whole cashew nut came flying out and it landed on the pillow perfectly. You know when you go to a crap B&B and they put a chocolate mint there? It was like a low GI vegan one of those. I mean, we've both seen it, of course we have. Both looking at it out the corner of our eye. I know he's seen it because he had to duck as it went over his head. So I'm just gonna have to style this out. Don't want this to ruin the moment. So I was like, okay. I was like, that's for you, big boy. Slow release energy. You're gonna fucking need it.
They say it's hard, you know, bringing kids up is difficult. They say kids these days are influenced by these new hyper-violent computer games. And that's nuts, isn't it? If we'd been influenced by the computer games from our childhood, we'd have to go around going like, beep, beep, beep. It'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? No one would play with that kid with beep, beep. Can I be in your gang? No, you're a bit weird, mate, to be honest. Imagine being influenced by Pac-Man. You'd have to like walk round in a darkened room munching pills and listening to repetitive music. The younger people laughing and clapping, the older ones going, who is this Pac-Man you speak of? It's not one of the rough boys from the estate, is he? There were some rough kids where I live, and they're not being rough, they're just being confusing. You know, you come out of your house, they go, yeah, your mum makes gravy for leopards, innit? Yes, I believe she does. She does a lot of charity work. These are scary kids. Even the dirty old men are scared of these kids. See them turn up in their car, put the window down, like, hello, little boy, do you want a sweet? The kid's like, what sort of sweets have you got? Said it best be good if you come under here and trouble me with your sweetie talk, right? You don't want any mojo or drumstick rubbish, you get me? You must have a serious sweetie offer for me, boy. Blokes panic. I was like, well, I've got bonbons. I wasn't sure what to bring, to be honest. Dib dab there, and a wham-bar. Wham-bar, your sweets are rubbish, man. Shut up. Nah. Wham-bars used to be big like that. Now they're small, innit? So you're going to have to do better than a wham-bar if you want to see my dick, right? Hey, man, look at your car driving a Saab. You got no pride. Get out, you wham-bar, bitch. Next pervert, please. How many sweets have you got, Sweaty? What do you mean, Neverland? Yeah. But we live in exciting times anyway, you know. It's very exciting being in London, you know. The Olympics. Fantastic. We didn't really want the Olympics till we heard France might get it. British people are, oh no, all that running and jumping. It's not really for us, is it? When is it? No, I'm busy that week. What? France are going to get it? Bollocks, we'll have it. Only in London would we have to have a poster campaign saying back the bid. No, fuck off, it'll be rubbish. Don't you think that's a bizarre response to that question? Would you like the oldest, most historically significant athletic competition the world has ever known, attracting athletes from every known nation on the face of the planet to come here and perform at the peak of their abilities in the very city where you live? Most British people go, where will we park? because it's all residents round here. There's others going, nah, man, the tubes will be packed, you get me? People getting on the underground with, like, javelins and shit. Coming in the escalator with a shot put, health and safety, boy. And there's a whole other section of British society going, you what? The Olympics? Let a load of foreigners in? Huh? Ones that can run and jump and swim, you let them in, you'll never fucking catch them. Huh? Place will be overrun with Lycra refugees. You're having a laugh, ain't you, mate? They'll peel them little numbers off their jackets. You watch them, they're sneaky. I read about it in the Mail.
And when I go back to America, man, we're not good at taking the piss out of ourselves. We're a younger country. We haven't learned that skill yet. That's a very advanced thing y'all do. We ain't worked that out yet. You know, in America, we used to feeling one emotion at a time, you know? And just, you know, we get mixed up like that. It's just, in America, too, we love catchphrases. We love slogans. We love stuff like that. And we found a way for justification to sound like empowerment. That's right. We have phrases like, be true to yourself, follow your heart, follow your dream. There was a movie a few years ago called Batman Begins, and it had one of them catchphrases, and Americans loved it. To conquer fear, you must become fear. Well, how the hell you do that? And it's just a way for Batman to justify being violent. I can take that same phrase and justify whatever I want. If I gain too much weight, I can justify it by going, to conquer fat, you must become fat. Man, I saw a politician on the news today, MP, talking about it'll be good if Tony Blair becomes president of the European Union because a Brit will be in there. And how dare anybody in Britain go against that? Well, how about the best man for the job? How about that? How about that? And like, I know that kind of thinking because I grew up with that. I was always taught that I had to support every black person no matter what they did. So that meant I tried for years really hard to support Don King and Robert Mugabe. And it's hard. It's hard. I tried. I swear to God, I tried, man. A few years ago, I was watching Wimbledon and Serena Williams playing. And I'm not a fan, but I admire her game. She got a strong game, and not just the physical, but the psychological. Every time she hits the ball, right, she makes this grunt. It's like this, and that's a hell of a psych job to do on your opponent. Every time you hit the ball, you release this guttural grunt that's like, It's like what you're saying is, with every fiber of my being, I'm trying to kill you. Imagine playing somebody in checkers like that. A couple of years ago, I was watching Serena Williams play, and I was with one of my buddies, black dude, and she was doing the whole, and he leans over and he says, you know that grunt she does? I said, yeah. What she's actually doing is releasing 200 years of black American anger. For real? He said, black American anger is one of the most potent angers in the world. And that's why she hits the ball so hard, and that's why she be whooping them white girls like that. I was like, oh, okay. So a couple of weeks later, after this Russian girl beat her, I couldn't help but mess with my friend a little bit. I was like, wow, 200 years of black American anger don't seem to have nothing on 70 years of frustration with communism, does it? Black American anger. Try a childhood with no toilet paper.
Nurse girl, could I have the psychological profile now, please? This is... Did you see something awful then? How awful. Would you like to take Lee over that side? Yes. Nick, you come over this side. I want you to look up at the screen. I'm going to show you 3 images, and I'd like you to tell me which one you'd rather spend the evening with. Excuse me, Mr. Jelly. Would you rather spend the evening with number 1, a teddy bear, number 2, Tom Cruise, or number 3, a large courgette? Which one are you going to go for?
I'll go with teddy bear.
You're going for the teddy bear. You're going to play safe. Let your arms hang loosely by the side. That's right. Going over here now to the Navy, where the food is obviously a lot nicer. Excuse me, Dale. Similar arrangement for you, Lee. Would you rather spend the evening with number 1, a hot water bottle, number 2, Jude Law, no stains on the upholstery, please, or number 3, a large sprig of purple-headed broccoli? What's it to be?
The purple head wins all the time.
It does? Excellent. Would you like to now join me back in the middle? Lee and Nick, come over here. Some straightforward questions now, just to find out a bit more about you. What's your favourite aftershave?
I don't wear aftershave.
You don't? Deodorant?
Sure.
Let's have a little sniff. Oh, you do smell quite fresh, Gail. Would you like to? No, nothing musty there at all. What's your favourite aftershave, Lee?
It's brewed for me, Julian.
Is it brewed? Any on this evening?
Just a touch.
Oh, that's lovely. Just a faint aroma there. Would you wait until you're asked, please? And finally, what's your favourite position, Nick?
Doggy.
Doggy style. What sort of dog do you have? Your favourite position?
Reverse cowboy.
Reverse cowboy. Laughing at your own jokes there. It's like you're on stage with Billy Connolly. Now then. Right, that's it. Nurse Gail, could I have the rubber glove now, please? For medical reasons, I'm obliged to conduct an internal examination. Thank you very much. Could I have the swabs at once? Here they come. All sterilised, open wide. Oh, I say. Lots of room in there, isn't there? What a waste. And Lee. There we are. Perfect. Get those under the microscope at once. Take Lee over to his screen. Nick, come over here. Let's see the results of your swab test first, please. Okay, nothing to worry about there. Just a couple of common or garden microbes. It's almost as if someone just filmed a lava lamp. Now, the sailors' results, please. Not very nice, is it? Didn't waste your evening, obviously.
So I've moved house recently and now I have a wife. Thank you. I have a wife now. I love saying that. I love my wife. I like that. Didn't used to like that whenever I'd meet a married couple, especially if there was a man in the situation. Didn't like it when he said, my wife. Always sounded so aggressive, so territorial. Ownership. This is my wife. She is my property. I own this woman. Oh, I didn't have to, I'm not going to like saying that. But now, I own a woman. And I love to show off my property. I'm proud of my wife. She's one of my favourite things, apart from my outdoor pizza oven. No, I do like to say my wife. I should clarify this, but not for that reason. I like to say it because it took us so long to get married, right? Our original wedding date was on April 25th, 2020. Yes. And then somebody fucked a bat. And she caught me doing that and cancelled the wedding. It's a proper joke. 3 weddings cancelled. 3 weddings cancelled. Awful, very stressful. The first one, the worst, obviously, by far the worst. We got a call from our venue about 2 weeks before the wedding was supposed to happen, and they said, it's just not going to happen. We're cancelling all of our events. We're so sorry, right? It's about 2 weeks before the first national lockdown, they called us and said that. And that is devastating, to be told that you are not allowed to marry the person that you love most in the world, that you want to spend every single minute of every single day with. And then 2 weeks later, the government told us we had to spend every single minute of every single day together. And as we all found out, that is too long to spend with anyone. No matter how much you love them, you need a minute off now and again. It's done mad things to our relationship. We're basically the same person now. We share everything, especially since we've got married. Don't know if you know this, if you're about to get married, I'm going to let you in on something. You have to share everything, including, and I didn't know this was one of the rules, a Google Calendar. No one told me. I got a bit of a shock. 2 weeks after we got married, I was in a meeting with people at work that I didn't really know that well. Work people. Practical strangers. At the end of the meeting, we had to go round the table and read out what we had coming up in the week following so we could put a new meeting in. I announced to this room full of practical strangers that the following Wednesday I had my smear test. We're on a new level of intimacy I did not know existed. And I like it, but you do leave things behind at the previous level of intimacy. Don't you? You do leave some things behind. Like, we know each other so well now. We've lost that sort of exciting, unknown, sparky, sexy thing. That's dead. I'll tell you the moment that went, I know the split second. It was lockdown 1. It was in our bathroom, our bath's directly next to our toilet. I needed a piss, so I just went for a piss. She turned round, looked me directly in the stream and said, you need to drink more water.
Oh, look at this pretty lady. Don't fight it. I can tell by your eyes that you want me. Oh, fuck it. I can't keep it up. It's all a joke. I've never left the country. Good evening, folks. Very, very, very pleased to be here tonight. I want to tell you a bit about myself, because I've started off quite aggressive, so I'll pull back, right? My parents arrived in London in the 60s. And London in the 60s was very, very similar to Australia now. No real diversity, right? I remember my first day at primary school, I ran into the classroom, I ran straight back home, and I went, Mum, Mum, apparently there's a black boy in my class. I can't find him anywhere. So you young people, you're very, very lucky, right? Young people. How old are you, son? Right there, you. 16? What year were you born?
91.
1991. Did you hear that noise? That's called jealousy. There are people in this room with underpants and socks older than you. Where are you from, child? Where are you from?
London.
London, big place. Scale it down. I'm not driving a minicab. Let's work together. Kilburn, North London, yeah. South London, representing.
A lot of people know that I used to be a bouncer, which, if you didn't know, I imagine that's come as quite a surprise. What? I was. Problem is, I still look like a bouncer. There's about 12 of you in here that showed me your tickets, and people still treat me like a bouncer. I went out a little while ago for a drink. I'm in the bar's hot, so I went outside, get some air, send a text message. So I wasn't stood there very long. I looked up from my phone and a queue had formed. That's the kind of... I had to learn how to be a bouncer while being a bouncer, which is like the worst place to learn how to do that job, especially when people think you can fight. I accidentally got a reputation that I could fight. I was 19, it was in my local bar, and I'd been there I was drunk. I was really drunk. I'd had like 50 beers. I had 3. You know I had 3. I realised about that line, like, as you get older, you think that line's going to stop. It doesn't. It just changes. Like, do you remember being 19 and you go out drinking with your friends and you have, like, 3 Budweisers and you're comatose? But your friend says, how many drinks you have last night? You're like, 50. Then you get into your mid-30s and you actually go day drinking and consume 50 pints and then come home and, like, throw up on a cat and go to the toilet in the cupboard. But the moment your partner says to you, how many drinks did you have last night? You're like, 2. I think that second one was a bad one. I was really drunk. I was that level of drunk where I've now gone to the toilet and now I can't stop going to the toilet. Like, have you ever been that drunk? You've broken the seal and now you can't stop pissing. It doesn't even look like piss anymore, does it? It's so clear. It doesn't it? It doesn't look... Have you ever had that drunk thought where you're like, taste it? No, me neither. Unless you have. I haven't, and you, because right, that's disgusting. Why would you bring that up? I haven't. I was really drunk, and a fight kicked off. This guy threw a drink in this lady's face, and then he punched a bouncer and tried to run out of the club. And as he's gone to run out, I've gone to lean on the bar because I need a nap. And he tripped over my leg and hit his face on the bar, knocked himself clean out. Now, I'm stood over this dude. And I'll be honest, I was just trying to figure out if I was in the toilet yet or not. And I stood over this guy, and the owner of the bar came up and he shook my hand, and he said, well done. I was like, Then the barmaid came over and she went, yeah, look at him, and he's pissed himself. I was like, yeah, he's... Yeah, he's definitely did that. There's a lot of misconceptions about bouncers as well. People think we know a lot more about star signs than we really do. Like, we don't. We just know that's how to catch you out. Because I don't know, but I also know neither do you. And you always know who in the queue to pick because you can see them practicing. We've all done it outside clubs when you're waiting to go in, going 3rd of the 8th, 94, 3rd of the 8th, 94. Then they get to the front and they're confident. They hand their ID and you go, date of birth, please. You go, 3rd of the 8th, 94. You go, what's your star sign?
I get shocked about what I get annoyed by. I get really annoyed by pizza leaflets. Everyone here in London, you get pizza leaflets through your door. I get 8 a day, sometimes more. I shouldn't bother them. I should pick them up, put them in the bin. But everyone that comes through, I go, it's like someone standing next to you all day long going, do you want a pizza? Fancy a pizza? Do you want a pizza? Fancy a pizza? No, I don't want a bloody pizza. I wouldn't mind if the photographs made them look tasty. But, it looks like someone's cooked a kid's painting, doesn't it? Another thing that annoys me, tea bags. Oh, God. Because they're not bags, are they? You can't put anything in them, you can't take anything out. That's the minimum you expect from a bag, isn't it? If someone said to you, can you hold my bag? And you couldn't put anything in it, you couldn't take anything out. It hasn't got handles, don't have handles, do they? You go, it's not a bag, it's a cushion. Should be called tea, sealed yet perforated paper cage. Suppose they can't fit that on the box, can they? I'd meet them halfway. Herbal prison of permeable mesh. I'm a reasonable guy. Another thing drives me mental. The self-checkouts at supermarkets. Oh, God. I come away from there. I don't not feel like a man. I don't even feel like a mammal. I feel like an amoeba when I come out of that place. Because nothing swipes, does it? I'm swiping, nothing swipes. OK, I won't have carrots this week. Then I can live without butter. The other day I was begging it to let me have a chicken. No, just have a chicken. Just a chicken. I was rubbing it, banging it, swiping it. I'm going to leave the money here and I'm going, OK? You do your worst. Oh, I hate coming out of that place. I walk up there with 2 bags of shopping. I come away with a can of Coke and an apple. And for some weird reason, the apple swiped. It hasn't got a sticker on it. It worries me. I get annoyed by the most... Do you know what really annoys me? Wrong numbers. People dial me up with the wrong number. But I don't get angry. What I do, and you should do this, it's great fun, I don't let on it's a wrong number. It's great fun. So someone rings up, hello. They say, is Mandy there? Mandy? Oh, yeah, just hold on a sec. She's just coming, okay? Give me a sec. I don't know who it is. Some wanker. What have I told you? Don't wear your shoes in the house. Oh. Put the special slippers on. She's just changing her shoes.
Request, if you know anybody who works for WhatsApp, just tell them to let us delete the message entirely, like it was never sent. Don't delete the message, but still write, Neil has deleted the message. Like a little telltale informer. So that your friend still texts and goes, what was in that message that you deleted it? You know when it says delete for me or delete for everyone? Who picks? Just for me, and just go and delete it for me, yeah? Yeah, still want them to see the awful stuff I've written, but I don't want to be reminded of how much of a dick I can actually be, yeah. It's like getting a tattoo removed and walking into the laser place going, what are my options for tattoo removal? You got two options. First option, we shine a laser on your leg, remove the tattoo so no one will see the tattoo. What is my second option? We shine a laser in your eyes so you won't see the tattoo. I'll go for option number 2, please. Thank you very much. I bought a new phone. I fell for the ad. You can put the phone on somebody else's phone and you can wirelessly transfer the charge. And the company thinks people are going to use that. No one's going to use that. Your charge is the single most important thing in your life. Look at your friends. They would prefer to donate a kidney to a stranger than to give you 5% of their mobile phone charge. Have you ever been abroad? Yeah? You ever been abroad? You bring one adapter, one charger between you and your spouse. The UN level of negotiation involving getting the charger back from the person you love. Can I have the adapter, love? Can I have the charger? Can I have the adapter? Can I have the adapter? And they hit you with it. Absolutely, Neil. But what battery percentage do you have? And you look at the person you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with and you lie like a mofo, don't you? 3%, 2%, 0.5%. I've never even seen 0.5% in the mobile phone before, to be honest with you. Show me your phone, I'll plug it in for you. I can't show you my phone. Why can't you? I'm having an affair. How you hell having an affair? Show me your phone! We'll be in Spain. My wife will go and have a shower before we go out. She'll leave the bathroom door open and the shower door open. That is not an invitation to join her. You'll make that mistake once in your life, let me tell you that. It's because she doesn't trust you to not unplug her phone and plug your phone in. And she's right, because that's exactly what you do, isn't it? You plug her phone back in towards the end, so you got plausible deniability. You plug out my phone. I did not plug out your phone. It went up by 2% after a half an hour shower. That is because Spanish electricity is different. You plugged it in during the siesta and the wires were asleep. That's how it works here. If I talk to you in the front row, hope you know I'm just messing. You get great answers. I had a farmer at a gig once. I said, what do you do? He goes, I'm a sheep farmer. I said, I read recently sheep can recognise individual human faces. He went, well, as long as they can't give evidence, I should be. I had a South African man at a gig in Dublin once. I said, where are you from? Big blonde guy. He goes, Cape Town. I said, Cape Town is beautiful and warm and sunny. How did you end up in Dublin? He went, I got in the wrong container. The Irish guy, lovely fella, big guy, you know. Apparently we're going to be the most overweight country in Europe in a few years. And they tell us this like it's bad news. Oh, it's a catastrophe, it's a disaster. It's good news, ladies and gentlemen. Only 180 years after the worst famine in Western Europe. I call that a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. No one else has bounced back like we have. Those people in Pompeii just died. If they were Irish, they'd be selling lava lamps by now.
Came to Britain in the early 80s. We were refugees long before it became fashionable. But my favourite immigrants are Polish people because they've properly confused old-fashioned racists. Have you seen them? They don't know what to do. What do we do? What do we say? They're immigrants, but they're white. I had this one bloke go, bloody Poles coming over here with their work ethic. Which isn't very politically correct, and I try so hard to be politically correct. Sometimes I take it too far. I was at a party recently and I said to my friend, have you met Steve? He's a really nice guy. My friend goes, which one's Steve? Steve was the only black guy in the room. I found myself going, Steve, yeah, he's over there. He's got blue jeans on, a grey T-shirt, sort of curly hair, and a Nigerian accent. And once I was performing at a comedy club and there was two black guys in the front row, like you two, but men and black. You are a man, sir, I'm sorry. It's the lights. And I said to them, so how do you two know each other? And they looked at each other and went, we don't. Might as well have had NF tattooed on my forehead. I didn't, it was felt tip. I like friendly, a little bit of friendly racism is nice. When I was a little girl, I used to always go to my friend Katie's house, and every time her dad opened the door, he'd go, hello, Shappy, been on holiday? So, I have a little boy, I have a baby boy, I'm a mum, and I'm looking at you, some of you are so young, I could be your mummy if I lived somewhere rural. Like a lot of women, I got to my 30s and I thought, I've got to have a baby now. Well, my mum's still young enough to look after it for me. And I went to all the antenatal classes, and this woman came up to me, one of the other mums goes, oh, how are you planning on losing your baby weight? And I was like, well, I was just thinking of having the child. And she was like, oh, I'm going to be a yummy mummy. I'm going to lose all my yummy mummy. That's just like a middle-class way of saying MILF. I was so happy when I found out that I was pregnant. And we had a scan and we knew that it was a boy. And people said to me, why did you find out the sex of your baby? Didn't you want a surprise? Well, it's going to be a boy or a girl, do you know what I mean? The only surprise would have been if it was a puppy. And there are no puppies in my family. There's one goat, it's not a blood relation. Thank goodness I have a child now. It was no fun being a broody Iranian woman. Every time I said to people, my body thought's ticking, they'd hit the ground. So with all that going on, when I did find out I was pregnant, I was so delighted. I thought, I am going to fill this child's life up with love and hope and understanding. My husband's reaction was slightly different. He walked around going, woohoo! My soldiers worked! Easy! It's not his. Oh, the fuss he made when he found out I was cheating on him. Only child. Can't share. My husband's English, he's from Nottingham, and a lot of people ask me if my husband's Iranian. And I go, well, he's not, he's English, but he's planning to convert. His family are absolutely lovely, and when they first met me, they kept going, oh, Shappy's so exotic, she's so exotic, which means foreign, but not in a way that we hate.
Some people find very strange things entertaining. There are people out there, some people love scary movies. Ugh, I hate scary movies. They're too scary. They scare the shit out of me. Every time I see a scary movie, I'm scared for days. I hate them, but there are people who love them. There are people out there who actively seek them out, who actually enjoy the sensation of being scared by a movie. I've never understood that attitude at all. I've never been frightened in real life and gone, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'll pay for that. Yeah, all right. That felt horrible. 13 pounds? Sure, yeah. Let's go now. Ridiculous. My friend's like this, right? My friend Jason loves scary movies. Jason can't get enough of scary movies. Absolutely loves scary movies, Jason. Jason is black, which I only mention because you imagined him white, and he isn't. That's it. His race is not relevant to the joke. I just don't see why he should have the wrong picture. But Jason loves scary movies, and he's always trying to get me to go see them with him, go to the cinema and see scary movies with him. I'm like, Jason, I don't want to pay money to feel worse. That's an illogical exchange. That's a bad transaction, Jace. I don't want to do that. I was thinking about it. It's such a first world privilege. Don't you think? To enjoy scary movies. What a first world Western privilege. I mean, how comfortable is your life that you have to go out and buy a ticket just to know what it's like to feel under threat? You know, no one in the Democratic Republic of Congo saw The Grudge, you know? They don't need that shit. They got real life stuff to deal with. I guess it's a masochism, right, to enjoy a scary movie. A masochism to derive a pleasure from a pain. And I understand masochism, I have to say I do, because I love spicy food. I love spicy food. It hurts me, I'm a little Asian god, but I love it. And if you think about it, spicy foods are actually a lot like scary movies, you know? If it's good, you feel alive. If it's really good, you shit yourself. What else about me? I'm 26. I'm 20 goddamn 6. People often think I'm older, because although I am 26, I look terrible. I look gross and old, I guess. Mothers, lock up yourselves. Old Wang's on the prowl. He gonna get you. I'm a bit fat, I suppose. I don't look great. I'm a bit fat. I don't struggle with my weight. People my shape and size often say they struggle with their weight. They're always very sad. Oh, I struggle with my weight. Oh. I don't struggle with my weight. Struggle implies that I fought back at some point. I didn't. I helped. I was very much an accomplice to my weight. I was no barrier of entry to my weight. My weight knocked at the door and said, "Can I come in?" And I said, "Can I keep playing video games and touching myself?" And my weight said, "Yeah." "Oh, come in!" Take off your shoes, though. Chinese house. I've been trying to work on my look, though. I've been trying to look better. I'm trying to work on my look. I think it's important for all of us to have a distinct look that we like and to accomplish it as best we can. And so I have settled on the look of Cambodian dictator. It's a pretty strong look. It's been getting me a lot of respect recently. Mainly from Cambodian people. But then I got fun shoes at the end. Racist people think that I'm barefoot, but there you go.
My eldest daughter bought a boy ointment recently for the first time, and I think it's quite safe to say that I reacted rather badly to this incident when it took place. She brought the individual in question into the house that I paid for with money I earned. All right, Dad, this is Billy. Yeah, Billy. Right, nice, yeah. Okay, yeah, Billy. Sweet, I'll go and put the kettle on. Daddy's going to talk to Billy. She goes to the kitchen, she doesn't realise anything's wrong. And I start reversing this little bastard around the house. Because when you're my size, you can reverse smaller men. They just back off you like that. So eventually I get Billy into a wall. He can't go any further. And I'm like, William. If you as much as touch her, I will cut you. At which point, young Billy started crying. But that is 6-year-olds for you, because they can't really, you know? That was the joke. This is the true version of events. How can I start this? Okay. So, The other day, my wife and I had a meeting that I did not know was a meeting. I got in, and there was tea, and there was biscuits. And I thought, brilliant. And I sat down, and I'm drinking, oh, Viscounts, I love them. Oh, didn't even take the foil off. Oh, these are, oh, my, love a Viscount. And she goes, yeah, we've got to have a chat about Emily. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, what's going on? She goes, yeah, she's having a sleepover on Friday. And I should have pointed out earlier that this is just after my daughter turned 16. That's a very important number to bear in mind. She said, yeah, Emily's having a sleepover on Friday. I went, all right, do you want me to buy pizzas? No. Because there's only one person coming. Oh, right. Right, shall I just buy one pizza? Stop talking about pizza. She's having a sleepover, and it's Stephen. What, the boyfriend? Yeah. Oh, where's he going to sleep? In Emily's room. Where's she going to sleep?
But no, money doesn't change you. It makes you curious. Even for where I'm at in life, I'm able to, earn my own money, have my own living, I started finding out secrets, though, when you have money, Now I go to the top-tier supermarkets, yeah? I'll be going Waitrose. Hey, listen, middle-class white people, why do you not tell us about Waitrose? There's no security in there. Hey, day one, I was stealing. On the self-checkout, you can't steal on the self-checkout. You go Tesco, you try to steal, boop, they got a camera there, bow, it's right there. You can't steal nothing. Day one, I was like, boop, one for the bag, boop, one for me. Boop, one for the bag, boop, one for me. You try it out in one of these supermarkets now, Seek assistance, yeah? The light is flashing. Now you got to pretend like you weren't trying to put fresh mangoes in your pocket. They're bulging out. He's like, oh, excuse me, I don't know what's going on. And then this guy comes over. I don't know what piece of paper he has when he comes and he goes, it's all right, it's okay. Boop, I steal the mangoes too. You're like, what? I wasn't stealing mangoes, bro. Look at some of you like, yeah, I steal the mangoes as well, yeah. It's different when you go to some of these middle-class establishments, man, especially going Waitrose. I started buying middle-class food, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I know the entry level, when you're middle-class is quiche. That's where you start. I started off with quiche. I'm not just getting the ham and cheese quiche. I'm experimenting. I'm getting spinach quiche, And then I thought, rah, what's this bread that everyone keeps talking about? Sourdough. Oh, my God. Why didn't you guys tell black people about sourdough? This stuff... At first, it's disgusting, black people. At first, sourdough is disgusting because sourdough, I'm like, what in the ancient Roman bread is this? After one day, this bread is like, no, I'm so hard, I'm not moving. It's the hardest bread you've ever felt in your life. You ever tried to cut some sourdough, my friend? You ever tried cutting sourdough? You're just there, zoo. Then I asked one of my friends, man. I said, Winthrop, let me ask you something, bro. Why do you lot think I don't have friends like Winthrop, boy? You lot looked at me like, nah, that's Jerome, bro. You don't know no Winthrop. I said, bro, let me ask you something. Sourdough bread, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. And he said to me, he's like, no. What you've got to do, you've got to get the sourdough, cut a thin slice, and then you toast it. I thought, oh, okay. I thought, all right, cool, I get it now. I was like, I tried to make a sandwich, man. I was chewing this bread for days, man. He goes, no, you have to toast it. You've got to toast it. So I did. I started toasting it. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like, what do I put on it? Like flour or butter? He started laughing. Flour or butter. Oh, my gosh. You're really showing where you grew up, don't you, man? You're really showing where you're from, aren't you? I said, what do you mean? What do I put on it? And then I discovered Lurpak. Oh, my God. That stuff is delicious, Hey, do you know how good Lurpak is? Listen, if I could invest, I would sell my house and put all the stocks in Lurpak. This is the nicest bar ever invented. I can see some middle-class people like, hold it down, Mo Gilligan. This bar is delicious. It's so nice. Listen, it's expensive. Don't get me wrong. £9 for bar. Oh, my God. I was like, listen, I don't know if I can afford this. Look at some people right now. Okay, calm down, Bill Gates. This is some expensive bar. But it's delicious, man. Oh, my God. I don't waste any drop, boy. I'd be like, you know when you get the sides? I'd be like, listen, man, it might not feel in the butter, but, you know, I put a little bit on my elbows.
They say it's hard, you know, bringing kids up is difficult. They say kids these days are influenced by these new hyper-violent computer games. And that's nuts, isn't it? If we'd been influenced by the computer games from our childhood, we'd have to go around going like, beep, beep, beep. It'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? No one would play with that kid with beep, beep. Can I be in your gang? No, you're a bit weird, mate, to be honest. Imagine being influenced by Pac-Man. You'd have to like walk round in a darkened room munching pills and listening to repetitive music. So the younger people laughing and clapping, the older ones going, who is this Pac-Man you speak of? It's not one of the rough boys from the estate, is he? There were some rough kids where I live, and they're not being rough, they're just being confusing. You know, you come out of your house, they go, yeah, your mum makes gravy for leopards, innit? Yes, I believe she does. She does a lot of charity work. These are scary kids. Even the dirty old men are scared of these kids. See them turn up in their car, put the window down, like, hello, little boy, do you want a sweet? The kid's like, what sort of sweets have you got? Said it best be good if you come under here and trouble me with your sweetie talk, right? You don't want any mojo or drumstick rubbish, you get me? You must have a serious sweetie offer for me, boy. Blokes panic. I was like, well, I've got bonbons. I wasn't sure what to bring, to be honest. Dib dab there, and wham bar. Wham bar, your sweets are rubbish, man. Shut up. Nah. Wham bars used to be big like that. Now they're small, innit? So you're going to have to do better than a wham bar if you want to see my dick, right? Hey, man, look at your car driving a Saab. You got no pride. Get out, you wham bar, bitch. Next pervert, please. What kind of sweets have you got, Sweaty? What do you mean, Neverland? Yeah. But we live in exciting times anyway, you know. It's very exciting being in London, you know. The Olympics. Fantastic. We didn't really want the Olympics till we heard France might get it. The British people are, oh no, all that running and jumping. It's not really for us, is it? When is it? No, I'm busy that week. What? France are going to get it? Bollocks, we'll have it. Only in London would we have to have a poster campaign saying, back the bid. No, fuck off, it'll be rubbish. Don't you think that's a bizarre response to that question? Like, would you like the oldest, most historically significant athletic competition the world has ever known, attracting athletes from every known nation on the face of the planet to come here and perform at the peak of their abilities in the very city where you live? Most British people go, where will we park? You know, because it's all residents round here. There's others going, no, man, the tubes will be packed, you get me? People getting on the underground with, like, javelins and shit. No. Coming down the escalator with a shot put, health and safety, boy. And there's a whole other section of British society going, you what? The Olympics? Let a load of foreigners in? Huh? Ones that can run and jump and swim, you let them in, you'll never fucking catch them. Huh? Place to be overrun with Lycra refugees. You're having a laugh, ain't you, mate? They peel them little numbers off their jackets. You watch them, they're sneaky. I read about it in the Mail.
I am what you call in show business a triple threat. I do comedy, and I do music, and I will cut you. just joking. I probably won't. So it's so fantastic to be here today. I will be doing a little bit of music. So if you're a fan of NWA or Snoop Doggy Dogg, then I apologise. I'll be about 3 minutes. So this first song, this is about travelling on a train. Could you give me a cheer, Apollo, if you've ever been on a train before? About half. Okay, great. Lovely. Well, the half of you who cheered, that means you are my target demographic. Congratulations. So I'm going to sing this song. This is about the worst thing any of us can ever encounter on a train journey. Just before I sing it, I have had some problems at previous gigs, actually, so I just want to make something crystal clear. If you listen carefully, I'm not even saying the word Hindu. Just listen harder. Hindu on a train. Hindu on a train. Cowboy hats and penis cakes. Neck tattoos and big L plates, and voices like a foghorn in a drain. Hindu on a train, groping every passing male. I suspect you've been to jail, and God willing you might all go again. And although I have so many things to say to you, I'm aware that there are 6 of you, and all of you have had more fights than me. I've never glassed someone, but I do know how. Perhaps I'll glass you now. Hindu on a train. You brought your own speakers too, brilliant. To belt out Calvin Harris tunes. I mean, the maid of honor's clearly on cocaine. Hindu on a train. You see me staring and you threaten me. Then drunkenly you all set on me, and with a dick-shaped bottle take your aim. If you only knew, we're not so different, me and you. Just 3 months ago, my friends Hindu, we got drunk and we pretty much hijacked a plane. We were worse than you. We went down on all the crew. Mostly reluctant gay men, some women too. We got thrown out of Spain. You see, we're all the same. But you're not listening, you're bashing out my brain. Hindu on a train.
I tell you something, thank you. Thank you. I tell you what I saw the other day. This upset me, and I'm a pretty easygoing guy. You know what I saw? I saw an ambulance. Big sign on the back of the ambulance, on the back door. Do you know what it said? It said, "This is an ambulance, not a taxi." This is an ambulance, not a taxi. I know, I can see. Don't worry, I can tell. I know it's not a taxi. You know how I know it's not a taxi? Because last time I called a taxi, it didn't take 3/4 of a fucking hour to arrive. That's how I know. While I'm on the subject, can I just ask, is it really strictly necessary in this day and age to have the word ambulance written back to front on the bonnet of the ambulance?
No, so if you see it in the rearview mirror, it says that.
I know why. I know why. I'm just questioning it. See, my point is, if the blue flashing light and the big red cross hasn't done it for you, just a hunch, but I suspect the word ambulance is going to be lost on you as well. So I'd like to know if there had ever been anyone in the history of the automobile who was driving along, looks in their rearview mirror and goes, huh, what the heck's this? Who's this joker with his blue flashing light and big red cross behind me? Well, he's not getting past me. What does this say? Eculumbo? What does the hell that mean? Not getting out of his way. There's some pushy Danish furniture company behind me trying to get past me. You gotta watch it. You gotta. They're all at it. I saw a fire engine. Big sign on the back of the fire engine. You know what it said? It said, "Smoke alarms save lives." I thought, yeah, more like save you the bother of getting out of bed to put the fires out, you lazy bastards. You gotta watch it. AA vans. Well, Britain's 4th emergency service. Right, only in this country could coming forth be a boast. 4th, you say, my God, runner up to bronze. All the fun of taking part, none of the hassle of hanging around for a medal. Mountain Rescue, they're grumpy bastards, aren't they? So you helped me down from a hill. You have no right to criticize my footwear. I was wearing flip-flops that felt like a walk. Volunteer service, you see, Jack. Yeah, and don't you keep banging on about it. Listen, pal, you wanted to rescue people, I wanted rescuing. We both got what we wanted, so shut your face.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's too expensive to be dating right now in this economy, man. All my go-to moves for dating, I can't even afford them no more. I'm pissed off, you know. I used to do the Netflix and chill. That was my go-to move, but that subscription is too much right now. I can't afford it, okay? If I had to downsize, I tell girls, baby, we're gonna have to Wikipedia and chill. That's my new move right now. That's where we read the plot of the movie by candlelight, take it or leave it. Also, bring your phone. We're using your data, by the way. You better be on gift app. Okay, as you go, you gotta go. Those are the rules, you know. There's consequences to that, though. I had a girl break up with me just because I didn't have money, and she got a new boyfriend. He's a nice guy, I know, because I stalk him online sometimes. He's a really nice man. Treats my girl really well, he really does. He buys her expensive handbags and things like that, and that's when I realized I can't compete, man. I can't compete with that. I never even bought this girl a bag for life, not one time. That's cheap. I'll be in Tesco like, baby, you better put that cheese in your pocket. We're not spending that 50p right there. These gold diggers want my plastic bags. They can't have them. That's my bag right there. I'm not a big fan of social media, man. I'm really not. Because I feel like with social media, when you break up with somebody, you can see what they're up to online. I don't like that. I prefer in the past where you broke up with somebody, you could just lie to yourself and pretend that they were still unhappy. That was a good era. I like that. You just be lying to yourself. You be like, man, she probably missing me all the time. She probably sad, you know. Now you just go on her Instagram and you're like, oh no, she 100% made the right decision. Good for her, man. I haven't seen her smile like this in years. In fact, she's thriving. She got 3 bags for life in one photo. She leveled up for real, but congratulations to you, baby, you know. You know, when it comes to dating, I feel like the most important thing is finding somebody that you're compatible with, someone you have that connection with. For example, I used to date this girl, me and her got on really well, but there was a problem, and that was she liked dogs, right? Don't get me wrong, I like dogs too, but she liked dogs too much, you know? She liked dogs too much. She used to kiss her dog. That was weird, you know? I don't even know what was weirder. Was it the fact that she would kiss her dog, or the fact that when she did, the dog would make eye contact with me the whole time? That's a weird power play. I said, this dog is an alpha. I don't feel safe in this relationship. This is a toxic masculinity dog right here. I gotta go. I caught that dog listening to Andrew Tate. I said, I'm out of here. I can't do this no more. I've been reading up about that. That's the new thing, toxic masculinity, man. You know, I keep hearing women say men are trash. You know, I don't think anybody's asking the important questions. Are they recyclable? I feel like that's the kind of stuff we gotta ask. Can we make this toxicity carbon neutral? Maybe, I don't know, you know. I like to think I'm a good guy, but even as a good guy, I make small mistakes sometimes, innocent mistakes.
You ever been in that situation as a man, a really awkward situation? You're walking home late at night and there's a woman in front of you and it's dark and there's a lot of tension in the air. You can feel the tension, right? Obviously, I can understand why the woman's feeling tense, but I'm feeling tense too, okay? I'm a good guy. I just want that woman to relax. We both go about our day. But apparently, it makes it worse in that situation if you shout out, "I'm not gonna hurt you." Like, that makes the situation more tense. Sometimes they run faster when you do that. Don't do that, guys. Don't jump out of a bush and do that. Women don't like that, okay? One time I was walking behind this woman late at night. I know it sounds like there's a pattern emerging. I'm not doing this on purpose. Just walk off the night bus at the same time. It's unfortunate, you know. But I'm walking behind this woman. I was like, I don't want to make the same mistake from last time, shout something out, do something dumb. So I thought it'd be a good idea if I did something non-verbal to help put the woman at ease, okay? I thought it'd be a good idea if I started whistling at night because I thought that would make the atmosphere more jovial. No, it doesn't. Makes it way creepier to my surprise, actually. Especially if you're like me and you don't even know how to whistle properly. So then you're just a guy who's blowing in the wind in the dark real slow, like. Look like a creepy dinosaur, you can't do that.
We have a great show for you tonight. We have a fantastic show. Very funny comedians. I know funny. Very funny. People always ask me who I think is funny. That's the number 2 question I get asked as a comedian. The number 1 question I get asked as a comedian is, have you ever died? Soon as you tell someone you're a comedian, first thing they want to know, oh, you ever died? Oh, what's it like when no one laughs? Oh, tell us about the worst gig you've ever had in your life. Please, relive for me, in minute detail, the worst moment of your professional career. Have you ever really died? It's like saying to a doctor, tell us about the last patient you lost. What happened? With the family crying. I bet they were they? Yeah. People are such ghouls. It's the number 1 question. Have you ever died? Number 2 question, though, is what makes you laugh? People always want to know that from me. Who do you think is funny? And that's a nicer question. That's more understandable. You know, I make people laugh. People want to know what makes me laugh. In the same ways you might say to your hairdresser, who cuts your hair? Or you might say to someone in an Audi, who do you think drives like a cock? Same kind of thing. I like that joke. It's a short joke, it's a sharp joke, and also with that joke, I get to spot every Audi driver in the room. I can just see it there. Pinched expression on your face there. All right, no need to be like that about it. I've done well for myself. It's a very reliable machine. And the fact that I can tell you're an Audi driver by the expression on your face means technically you've just given a form of indication. So well done. Good for you. Who knew you could do it? Yeah. Have you ever died? Who do you think is funny? You always get asked the same questions. That's why I don't like doing interviews. I love doing this job. This is great. I love standing here talking to you, though. But doing interviews, it's a necessary evil. It's part of the job. I having to answer questions. And I don't even like watching interviews. You'd rather watch a comedian tell jokes than talk about how they wrote them. You'd rather watch a singer sing songs than talk about their inspiration. You'd rather watch a sports person do their sport. You'd certainly rather watch a sports person do their sport. Come on now. Sports interviews can be turgid affairs at best. And then I hit it with my foot. You mean you kicked it? If you like. They're really interesting. And I'm not slagging sports people. It takes a great deal of single-mindedness to excel at a sport to a point where people want to interview you about it. But sports people are famous because they're good at sport, not because they're good at talking about sport. That's why you find a sports person who is good at talking about sport, the BBC will cream their knickers over them. We found a woman. She used to ride horses. That's a sport. And she's quite lively and engaging and charismatic. Put her on absolutely everything! Do not let her out of your sight. Even people I'm a fan of. Andy Murray. I love Andy Murray. Britain should be very proud of Andy Murray. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon. He's Olympic gold medalist. And he put up with a lot of shit when he was named, 8th best in the world? Oh, you bloody loser, you. Done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon, he's Olympic gold medalist, he's magnanimous in victory, he's humble in defeat. He's a big comedy fan. He's been to see me live, I've met him, lovely bloke. But Jesus Christ. I cannot listen to him drone on one more time about how he won, stroke lost another tennis match. I can't do it. So then I hit it to him, and he hit it back to me, and I'm very good at tennis, but he is also very good at tennis.
Some days I'm better at tennis than he is, but I think what's happened today was he was slightly better at tennis than I am, and that's maybe why he won the game of the tennis. Oh, for God's sake, man! I'm not very sporty, you can probably tell. I like hill walking. Doesn't really count as a sport. I like hill walking and camping. Proper camping, though. None of your glamping bullshit. Glamping. Derivation of the words glamorous and camping, where you stay in a yurt, which is more expensive than a hotel. What is wrong with you? A lot of people don't realise yurt is a derivation of the words yura and twat. A lot of people don't realise that.
I wouldn't go down on a man with a vagina. Or, absolutely not. All on a man. No. Because a man's vagina would be disgusting. Like, I think it's a good thing that most women are born with them because you look after stuff. Like men, no, thank you. No. People get so angry though, man. Like, I always used to say the LGBT community, and then someone threw a bottle at me for not saying LGBTQIA+. And it's like, mate, I'm on your team. I just didn't know. Like, I didn't miss you out deliberately. Give people some credit. You've named your community after a bloody Welsh village. I'm not going to get everything right first time. Like, also, does anyone know what the A stands for in LGBTQIA? The A? Anyone? Asexual, yeah. Now that baffles me somewhat. Like, I don't understand why those people would want to be part of the same group, because that means at gay pride you've got people who are like, I'm not ashamed, I'm proud, I'm a man and I love men, you know. I'm a woman, I have sex with women. And then you've got these people at the back who are like, I want no part of this filth. Like, holding up a blank placard, like, nothing! We want nothing! And you're like, over there, that's a different march, isn't it? Sure. The problem with some sexist stereotypes, though, is that they're there for a reason, aren't they? Some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. For example, there's a stereotype that women can multitask and that men are just like, ha, the whole time. I think it's offensive to men more than anything. But some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. For example, why is it that you never hear about a woman who died wanking? It's exclusively a male method of death, isn't it? The rope around the neck and... only the men. Now, this makes no sense because women masturbate, we know this. Women have masturbated since the 1980s, of course. I believe it was the sinking of the Belgrano that finally got them going. Now, statistically, there must exist women that like to strangle themselves to increase the size of their orgasm, but you never hear about them because they don't die doing it. Women seem to be able to strangle themselves and masturbate at the same time. You know why? Because they can multitask, you see. And men's like, ha! You're gonna die! Fuck it! Ha! And they die. So, some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. That's my point. But these stereotypes were obviously used in the past to kind of make life harder for women. But now, some people think maybe life is harder for men because of the whole Me Too movement. I don't know about that. But what I do know is that no man could deal with the Me Too hashtag. Like, no, not even the really woke, liberal good guys. Like, I've got a friend who's a real good guy, you know, like one of them. And he's always blogging about why we can't eat prawns or some nonsense. And... he's like, oh, this harassment stuff's terrible, isn't it? Oh, this harassment stuff, makes you want to castrate yourself. What? That's what he said. Every man should just castrate himself. It's like, come on, mate, that's such a male response, isn't it? Because women still want to have sex, they just don't want to be harassed, right? So if women are like, hey, could you stop harassing us? And men go, oh, right, I see, well, I guess I don't need this anymore. Chop. Surely women are like, no, I still want to have sex just more on my terms. But then we're like, no, those are your options. Either we can harass you or it's nothing. The species ends. Pick a team, Karen. Huh?